diagnosis if it's not kept after. And then you need a valve replacement, all that good stuff. So, I guess I do have an appointment on next Tuesday with the cardiologist just to follow up on the stress test results. So I'll probably ask about that, but hopefully she's not too dismissive about it. But we'll see. Then next Wednesday, Dennis has his surgery. He's having a little lump removed, possibly cancer. Again, mentally I'm a lot better than I was in October when he had to have his surgery, or rather November when he had it done. That was an absolute mess in the weeks leading up to it, but I have confidence in the doctors and everything. And then Thursday, the day after his surgery, I'm going back to my doctor, my regular doctor. Oh my goodness. The odds. I'm gonna go back to my regular doctor to have my potassium levels rechecked. It's been about 2.5, 3 weeks now. I've been really counting every milligram of potassium. I've cut out all sorts of foods that I unfortunately really enjoy just to see if that helps. And, high potassium is, I believe, something I've always had an issue with, and, if it comes back high again, then I'm gonna have to ask that more digging be done in terms of my kidneys or something, because 90% of the time that's the problem with hyperkalemia and high potassium. Your kidneys aren't flushing out enough potassium and it's leaching into your blood. So, if I want to eat anything, any kind of way like I eat normally, then I need to have that investigated. There are too many foods that I eat that are really good for you that I can't lose, calorie dense and nutrient dense. A lot of really good vegetables, and avocados and stuff like that, nuts, beans, tomatoes, and the polyphenols and lycopene and tomatoes is really good for you. So it's I don't want to lose out on all of that. It's not just a matter of I want to eat what I want to eat, because it's not like I'm sad, I can't eat pizza or french fries or burgers or whatever, but I think at a certain point enough becomes enough, and okay, so red meat and ham, basically any mammal meat was taken from me because I have alpha-gal, which I knew before I ever got the test, but now it's official, I have an EpiPen and I have to be careful, and it could be for the rest of my life. And, okay, so that's that. Alright, so then I find out I have high blood pressure, and I gotta cut back on the salt, and I gotta cut back on certain saturated fats, and I gotta cut back on maybe eggs and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, butter, eggs, that's a big part of my diet. Especially, if I decide to go keto again, which I may. So now I gotta eat more carbs, which make me feel like crap. I can't eat but so many carbs in a day without feeling like junk. Okay, so you've got that, and then, now hyperkalemia. it's strange. I feel like I may, I don't want to jinx myself or say anything too premature, but I feel like I may be coming out of this spiral of sorts, and it actually started to happen before I got all my results, because the only result I got was the MRI. They called me on Friday to tell me that it was all clear, which, that was a fun experience. I set up.